Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. Companies to watch.
All right, happy Monday morning, and it is time for Companies to Watch. In the hot seat, Dan Coe. Good morning. How was your weekend, sir?
Good morning, Emaad. It was fantastic. I took a nice long break after having a couple of crazy weekends the past few weeks. So I feel a lot more refreshed, actually.
Yeah, doing nothing is highly underestimated.
Oh, yeah, 100%, Emaad. You can only imagine the amount of benefits you get from that. But yes, welcome to Companies to Watch. It's a question of hot or not.
That's right.
Now, today we're turning over to a global technology leader that designs, develops, and supplies a broad range of semiconductor, enterprise software, and security solutions. Anything that comes to mind.
Nvidia. Intel, Qualcomm, TSMC, Cambricon,
keep going, Emaad.
Broadcom.
Very good, Emaad. All right, we're turning over to Broadcom, and that's because they recently announced a $10 billion partnership with OpenAI to co-develop custom AI accelerators known as XPUs, or maybe for the less informed, to make AI chips. So that's a huge move and a pivotal move that aligns with the strategic goal of enhancing AI capabilities. And according to some people familiar with the matter, the two firm plans to ship the first chips that line up starting next year.
Wow, Nvidia better watch out, huh?
Yeah, so sooner. So OpenAI will initially use the chip for its own internal purposes. And this helps them to reduce their reliance on third-party supplies like Nvidia, AMD, and of course embrace proprietary silicon. This would also help OpenAI align with the broader industry trend where we're seeing a lot of tech giants starting to vertically integrate their hardware stacks in order to secure competitive advantages. So for investors, this would raise a lot of questions about the strategic consolidation, market timing, and of course, the long-term implications for traditional chip makers. Would we still go to Nvidia for this tech AI rally? Or would we just turn over directly to the very own AI developer, seeing as they're vertically integrating this chip-making process into their operations? So that would be top of mind for most investors.
Yeah, is Broadcom the new Nvidia?
Potentially, it could be.
Huh?
But we're seeing a lot of news like this building up of late. I mean, especially Alibaba, which also just last week announced that they will be producing their own chips as well. So if we're looking at this as a whole, between Broadcom and OpenAI, the recent collaboration is likely to significantly influence Broadcom's narrative of investing in AI R&D and, of course, pursue hyperscale partnerships. And this would strengthen their technological leadership, potentially accelerating its revenue and margin growth. So if we look at companies like Google, Amazon, and Meta, they've all already begun designing in-house chips to optimize performance, most importantly, reduce costs, and of course, mitigate supply chain risks, as we've seen how it developed over time in light of Donald Trump's latest tariff.
That's right.
So for both Broadcom and OpenAI, this would mark a strategic response to a growing demand that specializes in hardware and that powers increasingly complex AI models such as the ChatGPT-5 and beyond. So with expectations to ship in 2026, this seems to align really nicely with OpenAI's proprietary AI models and suggests that the strategic impact would materialize within the next 12 to 18 months.
That is a pretty short time frame.
Very short window. So during this period, investors would have to assess whether the technology is likely to take off and they could start to reduce their reliance on Nvidia's chips. And if so, that could suggest a potential redefinition of how people would play AI within this current market conditions.
Yeah, I'd say the timing for Broadcom is perfect on this front, this latest announcement with OpenAI, because it comes off the back of really strong quarterly results. So I think investors would be willing to take that punt.
Oh, yeah, for sure, Emaad. Good point you raised there. Now, if we look at their latest earnings, Broadcom specifically, they did fairly well as well. I mean, the collaboration was pretty timely if you think about it, because the company announced at the same time impressive quarterly earnings, including a 63% increase in AI revenue, which likely played a role in the company's share price rising 36% just last quarter.
36%.
Ka-ching. Yes, up to about $334.89. That's quite a huge jump. So market market factors also supported this narrative, with overall tech sector performance remaining steady and a positive outlook for interest rates potentially boosting investor confidence in growth stocks like Broadcom. So CEO Akhtar has also said that this partnership with OpenAI is likely to further accelerate the company's dominance in the AI chip market. But we got to talk about the risks, Emaad, because as with most good news, there would also be a bit of bad news. The company faces risks from reliance on few hyperscale customers and geopolitical factors which may impact AI-related projections. Then again, custom AI chips are quite capital intensive and they're technically complex with long lead times and uncertain returns. So as much as they've, projected a potential 12 to 18 months consolidation timeline, we have yet to see whether this would take off, and this might probably work for them. So possibly, for investors, if you want to stay wary, then, just wait and see how it fares as they continue to integrate these custom AI chips into their operations.
Yeah, I think you made a good point. A handful of large customers drive Broadcom's AI vertical. So if there are risks to deployment schedules, or if hardware demand remains cyclical, which it usually is, then they might be in trouble. But I suspect, given the numbers you've just cited, that investors would still be willing to take a risk.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because if we look at Broadcom's existing XPU clients, we're looking at companies like Google, Meta, ByteDance. That suggests that the company is still well positioned to mitigate the risk by diversifying its customer base. So in summary, careful monitoring of earnings forecasts and developments in AI initiatives, these are some of the crucial understanding that, investors will have to keep on top of mind and when thinking of Broadcom's future financial performance. And over the long term, if we just take a quick analysis of how Broadcom's performed, it seems like, they've been doing fairly well within the past 5 years. Market share has risen up to 830% just within 5 years. 1 year returns, we're looking at 137% in Emaad. That's well above the US semiconductor industry's 1 year return of 54.3%, 2 times or more,
That is
actually.
great return. So it's a cash cow for shareholders.
Oh yeah, 100%. And broader US markets, there was about 21.6% return over the last year. It's quite measly compared to what Broadcom's been giving back. So yes, it does seem like locking in a 10 billion contract with a high-profile client is likely to help Broadcom diversify its revenue stream and also put itself as a direct competitor to AI chip makers like Nvidia, AMD, and along those lines, we've got this AI hardware landscape just transforming over this period of time. So the implications, it still remains profound at this juncture. And based on that analysis itself, I suppose my verdict for Broadcom has got to be a hard.
All right, I think I'm going to have to side with you there because I'm going to quote CNBC's Jim Craner. Broadcom is a $1.4 trillion company, and it rallied from down 10 points in the AM to close up 85 cents. So the only kind of company aside from Nvidia maybe that can weather anything from tariffs to global craziness to antitrust and etc.
And you'll find out the reason why, just as I share with you some of the fun facts about Broadcom.
Excellent.
And that would pretty much do it for our analysis of today's Stock in Focus. Broadcom. Tell me, what do you think? 88550893. Okay, Emaad, fun facts about Broadcom. Did you know that 99% of all internet traffic crosses some type of Broadcom technology?
Really?
99%. More than 99%.
More than 99%.
Yeah.
So what is the 0.3%?
I think they just worry that it's a bit like Dettol, you know?
Yeah.
You don't want to say it's 100%.
Sure.
So, Broadcom creates all kinds of cool products from the likes of, wireless communication chips. And these little wonders, they do help to, connect your smartphone to Wi-Fi. So you can see how reliant we are on their software.
Absolutely.
So that being said, what do you call a network of shy people?
A network of shy people?
Yeah.
I don't know.
A nervous system. Okay, one last one. What profession does the best networking?
Software?
Fisherman.
Fisherman.
And that's all we have for Broadcom.
Before acting on the information on Money FM, please consider if it's suitable for your own investment objectives, financial situation, and risk tolerance. To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.